Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about similar figures. If you see from the very first sentence that they give you a similar figure, they have the same shape, but not necessarily the same size. So one might be bigger than the other. You can also see from this example they give you right underneath, the angle measures are also the same. So our corresponding angles within these two figures, angle B and angle E. Remember, whenever angle measures are exactly the same, we represent it by those little half circles on top of our angles. So we know, hypothetically, let's just say angle B was 70 degrees. You can see from this little representation of that little circle or half circle, fourth circle, whatever you want to call it, would also be 70 degrees. And then same thing now down here, angle C and angle F would be the same, and so would A and D. So they give you the two bullet points of similar figures right here. The corresponding side lengths are proportional, so what that means is that the shapes aren't necessarily the same size, but they do have the same proportions. And then their angles are congruent. Remember, congruent just means the same. So let me kind of go through what that proportional means. So in order to figure out if two shapes are similar, you're going to set up a proportion. You're going to be comparing the lengths and the widths of your shapes. So they're telling you that you're going to be comparing rectangle A to rectangle B and C. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be comparing the length of rectangle A and the length of rectangle B. So if I'm comparing them, the length of rectangle A is 6. The length of rectangle B is also 6. We know we can reduce that to 1. After I can compare the length, I'm also going to compare the width. So we have the width of A over the width of B. So the width of A is 3. The width of B is 2. Okay, so now we can compare our length and our width. If the triangles were similar, these proportions would be exactly the same. You have to have the same proportion in your length and in your width. So we know right off the bat, rectangle B is not proportional to rectangle A. So we can basically say that rectangle C and A are proportional, but let's just double check. So if I'm going to now compare the length of A, length of C, we already said the length of A was 6, the length of C is 4, we can reduce that to 3 over 2, and then we're going to fit the width of A, width of C. So the width of A, we already said was 3. I'm going to make some more room right here. The width of C is 2. So now we can compare 3 over 2 to 3 over 2. And since they have the same proportion, the length and the width are exactly the same. That's how we can confirm that rectangle A and rectangle C are proportional. So the question was, which rectangle is similar to rectangle A? And you can just say, put the answer right here. Rectangle C. So your answer would be rectangle C is similar to rectangle A, and then if I were to ever ask you to explain, you would say the reasoning why is because the proportions are both the same on your length and your width. So if now we are going to look at a figure, if you're looking at number 2, sometimes they'll tell you it's similar figures and you're going to be missing a side length. So you can see in this second triangle right here, we're missing side length x. So we need to figure that out. In order to figure that out, we're going to set up proportions just like we did up top. So what I'm going to do is make a fraction over the corresponding side. So remember, if we were to translate this particular triangle on top of this one, side length 6 and side length 9 would fall directly on top of each other. So that's my first fraction, 6 over 9. Since we know they tell us that this is similar figures, we can make this side length equal to the other side length, because we can see up top these two proportions were the same, so therefore they would be equal to each other. So then the second one, so side length 8 would fall directly on side length x. So therefore we would have 8 over x. If you're setting up the proportion in this way, you want to make sure that the same shape is in your numerator and the same shape is in your denominator. And what I mean by that is if you notice the 6 and the 8 are both up top, that both belongs to our first triangle. The 9 and the x are in our denominator, and that corresponds with our second triangle. So you want to make sure that the same shape is in your numerator and your denominator. And then from here, we can just simply solve the problem. You're going to cross multiply, so you have 6 times x, which is 6x. You have 8 times 9, which is 72. Whoops, don't know what happened. Divide each side by 6, you're left with a one-step equation. And then you're left with x equals 12. But if you do recall, remember we always want to make sure we answer in units. So you can see up top, they're using meters. So your answer would be, you can either write 12m or you can write 12 meters. I don't care, either one will work for me. So that's how you would find a missing side length of similar figures. So what I want you guys to do right now is hit the pause button on the video, and I want you to try number 2 and number 3 on your own, and I'll go over them in just a second. Okay, so now you should have unpaused the video, and I am going to be going over these two kind of relatively quickly. So like we said in the example from before, you are going to be making your proportions based upon the corresponding sides. So you know this side and this side would fall directly on top of each other. So my first fraction is going to be 6 over 9. And then my second one is going to be x over 6. Make sure that the same shape is in your numerator and your denominator. So you have 6 times 6, which is 36. X times 9, which is 9x. Divide each side by 9. 36 divided by 9. I'm just going to write it over here. Will give you 4. But if you look up top, you're using feet. So you would just say 4 feet. And then on the next one, same thing. I'm going to figure out my corresponding sides. If I were to take this big shape or this small shape and put it on top of the big shape, you can see that this side 14 and this side 7 would be corresponding. They would line up perfectly. So that's my first fraction, 14 over 7. And then we would have, the next one then would be x over 12. So remember, we got to stay consistent with having the same shape on top. So then you have 14 times 12, which should have given you 168. X times 7, which is 7x. Divide each side by 7. And you should get 24 centimeters equals x. I know I kind of went through that kind of fast. I think the hardest part is setting up the fractions because I know you guys have already done cross multiplying before. So that's how you do those. And then there's one more if you look down at example 3. It's kind of like a word problem. So an artist draws a replica of a painting that is on the Berlin Wall. The painting includes a red trapezoid. The shorter base of the similar trapezoid in the replica is 3.75 inches. What is the height of the trapezoid of the replica? So all you're doing is basically finding the missing piece, which is h. So I'm going to set up my proportion. So if I look right here, if I were to put this shape on top of this one, translate it, side 15 would fall on top of side 3.75. So I'm going to put 15 over 3.75, make that equal to the 12, and the h would fall on top of each other. I got to put the 12 up top because that's where I put my 15. And then you're just cross multiplying. 15h, 12 times 3.75 is 45. Divide each side by 15. And then you should get that the height of the replica is 3 inches. So it's just like the problems that we just did above, it's just now they're just making it into a word problem. So this height right here is 3 inches. So I want you guys to take a second, pause the video, try the on your own problem. It's a little more difficult. Pause it, and then I'll go through it in just a second. Okay, so now you should have unpaused the video, and I'm going to kind of go through this step by step, but I'm going to do this by drawing a picture. So basically they're telling you, what if the longer base in the replica was 4.5 inches? What is the length of the longer base in the actual painting? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw my picture from up top, because I'm more of a visual person, so I can see what this will look like. So they're telling you the longer base, woo, I don't know what just happened. The longer base in the replica, so this is our replica, and this is our painting. Okay, so our replica, they say, is 4.5 inches, and we are trying to figure out the longer side of our painting. So we're figuring out this part right here. So we can keep all the other numbers the same. So we figured out up top that this is 3 inches of our replica, and we're just going to keep 12 inches up top from our painting. And then after you figure out the picture, where everything goes, you can then set up your formula just like we've done before. So the 4.5 will fall on top of your h. So I'm going to do 4.5 over h. And then the 3 and the 12 will fall on top of each other. So I will have 3 over 12. Cross multiply, you get 54. You get 3h. Divide by 3. And you get that the height, whoops, is 18 inches. So I think the hardest part in this one is setting up the picture. So you plug in what they tell you you're missing, and then you just use the other numbers from the problem up top. If you have any questions, I will be at school tomorrow, but have a good rest of your day.